Welcome everyone to another, and it has been a while, but this is another Challenger Misfortune analysis, and we are again looking at my all-time favorite Dark Harvest player, which is gotta be EmdielGG. He's currently playing, well, in this game he's playing on his EU West account. I think this account is in Diamond 2 or something, and to be honest with you, I think he also dropped out of Challenger on his main account, but hey, he has proven time and time again that he is able to play Misfortune at the highest level, and I am convinced that each and every one of us can still learn something from him. And today he is facing off against a Fiddlesticks Jhin, which, yes, understandably he chose the Doran's Shield, because obviously Fiddlesticks' poke damage is pretty much undodgeable against other mage supports such as Brand or Zyra. You might as well go Boots and 4 potions, because an ounce of prevention is worth I don't have a clue of the systems, but yeah, prevention is better than cure. Somebody can probably complete the phrase for me in the comment section. Oh well, but yeah, his support is a Rakan, and he is used to playing with Rakan. I think it's his premade or something, and he's playing Glacial Augment, which I've never seen before. I'm quite curious where this leads to. But as of now, this lane is going as expected. I mean, Emdiel is maxing Q, and, well, he's obviously level 3, so even if he were to max W, the extra point wouldn't do that much. Obviously getting out-pushed by Fiddlesticks, who on the one hand pushes the lane nicely with his E, and on the other hand sets up the minions for the Jhin Q bounces, which is something you need to be wary of, because against Fiddlesticks you are already eating enough poke damage as it is. You don't need to take any more damage than necessary by blue team double kill. Oh, that looks nice. By eating a powered up grenade. Right, Aatrox's doing his thing. Yeah, so you are under tower, but Emdiel's rune setup is, well, he always goes with no boots, and his rune setup is Dark Harvest, Taste of Blood, Eyeball Collection, Ultimate Hunter, Absolute Focus, and Gathering Storms. Specifically because he doesn't go for boots. He does not go for celerity, just rather goes for his extra AD from Absolute Focus. And I am tempted, well, tempted might be a little bit weak, I am determined to play a little bit more Emdiel style Dark Harvest Misfortune on this on this channel for you to watch. So, and I didn't make an analysis in 8.15 yet, so I decided, hey, why not watch Emdiel a little bit? And this Fiddlesticks, what is he doing? Such a goof. Yeah, why not watch Emdiel, who plays this build ad nauseum, so he basically knows it in and out, and hopefully learn from him, because I personally struggle a lot with builds that do not have lifesteal in them, so no Legend Bloodline, no Triumph, no lifesteal items. I tend to get outpoked, and then I just need to back because I have no way of healing back up. But Emdiel, well, he obviously needs to deal with that too, since he doesn't buy lifesteal either, and his rune setup doesn't allow for lifesteal too. Oh damn, I saw that boy, you missed the cannon minion, I definitely saw that. Yeah, but how he deals with poke damage, because that's my main concern with Misfortune when I don't have my lifesteal. I always get poked out mid-game, need to go back. Well, maybe it's my positioning. I tend to be very greedy for CS and for souls. Job, mate. Yeah, maybe it's that. I will just see how he does it. Okay, so this was the first back. I would guess a Serrated Dirk or something. Yeah, Serrated Dirk plus Longsword. And a health potion. Maybe he didn't even use it, who knows. I did not pay attention to his potion management. Oh well, but against Fiddlesticks I would be surprised if he didn't use it. And having no attack speed is also kind of a burden for me, since I then have I basically have to choose: do I push the wave, do I go for level advantage or whatever, or do I go for my last hits? Because when I try to do both, I push too slowly, or when I push, yeah, I basically push too slowly when I try to go for last hits. And a very nasty lane gank. But this fiddle is down. And from the red team's perspective, there's nothing you can do. Absolutely nothing. And obviously, Misfortune reacting correctly, using all those souls from all those falling team members on either side to just wither down this Warwick. He was healing quite a bit, but the damage was just way too much. He is at more than 50 souls at 7.5 minutes. Yes, early skirmishes like this are, of course, a Dark Harvest Misfortune's wet dream, if you want to call it like this. And, oh, I didn't talk about his item build. Yeah, let me do that. Well, I talk about his item build, obviously, every time I analyze one of his matches, but I don't know, maybe you're a new viewer, who knows? Hi. Yeah, his item build is full lethality, and I really mean full lethality. He advocates going for Dustblade and Ghostblade, and then Lord Dominic's Regards. And after that, you go for Edge of Night, and after that, you even go for an additional Serrated Dirk, which does not build into anything, since lethality is a unique item ability, a unique stat. So the two items of the same name. So if you were to build 2 Ghost Blades, you would only get the lethality from one of those, because it's a unique stat. So buying another Serrated Dirk is the only way to further increase your lethality, the only way to truly stack more lethality. But once you get... it's obviously not very slot efficient, but lethality is super efficient the more you have of it, which is the exact reason why this build works so well. But sitting on a 1100 gold item late game is everything but slot efficient, so obviously when you get to enough gold... That was so obvious, dude. I was talking, but hey, I'm playing Fiddlesticks myself, and this was the number 1 bait. The number 2 bait, if you want to rank them, is you sit in this bush as Fiddlesticks, place a control ward there, and they just always go there to take the control ward, and while they are busy auto-attacking the control ward, you just charge your ulti, ult in, and kill them both. It works every single time. It's disgusting. Yeah, but obviously checking the bush for enemy wards with the control ward there also works, since then you're out of sight and out of mind, and most people, well, Emdiel fell victim to this too, do not realize that you are still there and that you might very well be charging your ultimate. Oh, I missed some action. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, we're back. We're back on it. What did you buy, Emdiel? Ghostblade first, interesting. I thought you would be... Okay, no one dies. Tried to save the turret, but did not work out. I thought Emdiel used to buy... What are they doing? Wow, this is just horrendous. That was super dumb. They were counting on this control ward there, not realizing that even if they ambush them, they are way too low to fight them. Maybe if they had coordinated that a little bit better, maybe. But I doubt it. Yeah, that was just super dumb. High diamond, boys and girls. High diamond elo. Mistakes like these still happen. They still do happen. I like the room. What was I about to say? Oh yes, Emdiel sitting on a 1100 gold item late game, but obviously once you get enough gold to buy a finished item, you can still sell your Serrated Dirk and buy, for example, a Guardian Angel or a Black Cleaver or whatever you need, right? Especially for Black Cleaver this is true, because you'd much rather sit on a Serrated Dirk and then wait until you get all the gold minus the gold you get from selling Serrated Dirk, and then buy Black Cleaver, since the Black Cleaver item path is just so terrible for Misfortune. Yeah, so this is the little trick he does, and he never buys boots, by the way. You don't have to do that, you can buy boots, he even writes this in his guide. You can buy boots, and then you also can go for celerity over Gathering Storm, but he just simply wants the damage as early as he can get it. Alright, doesn't matter, doesn't get the assist, but still gets the soul, so who cares. But Emdiel now rotating top lane, they have 5 manning, okay, now 4 manning, he died. But this Warwick is so dead. You don't have boots, but you have Yomus plus your W. That was such a bad ward, holy crap. I don't know if his E was on cooldown, but he could have used his E to check the bush instead of using the ward. E gives vision, so as soon as you E this bush, you can auto-attack the Warwick and he just dies. Would have saved him some points of damage there. Also, of course, if he had placed this ward correctly, he also wouldn't have taken any damage. Alright, but yeah, bot lane laning phase is pretty much over, and since 2 people have more pushing power than 1, what was that, Rakan? I didn't pay attention. Maybe it was a super epic escape, but who cares? Generally speaking, you want to take top tower next, because towers win you games, right? Never forget that. Builds don't matter too much, towers do. Which is another plus of full lethality misfortune. Lethality is a stat that is applied on towers when you strike them, and Dark Harvest is the only, yes, the only keystone, the only rune, bar Demolish obviously, that can damage towers. So a Dark Harvest stack with a full lethality misfortune on a tower is just so much damage. Late game you can, even without Dark Harvest, you can 3-shot towers or something stupid. It's not even funny anymore, especially since your love tap also works. Okay, let's analyze this. What happened? What happened, Misfortune? You are top lane with your support, which is... Wait, where's pause? Where's pause? Yeah, there's pause. Let's jump back a little bit further. Alright, so you are in a 2v1 situation. You can position yourself rather aggressively since your jungler is topside and should be able to react to whatever the enemy jungler is doing. However, all of the enemies are missing, bar the Aatrox maybe. Right. Okay, so Rakan disengaged while Fiddlesticks was already charging his ulti, so that's lucky for him. 0 points in Drain. Are you an idiot? Drain is so... sorry for off topic, but this just triggers me. Drain is so important for support Fiddlesticks, even though it doesn't do that much damage in and of itself. But the big but to it is that it basically controls the motion of your Dark Wind. Since Dark Wind prioritizes targets that you are draining, and if you just jump in with ulti, like in this scenario, and fear Dark Wind somebody, all you get is typically 1 Dark Wind hit on them. And if you would drain them, the Dark Wind would bounce from a minion back to him to a minion back to him. You get 3 Dark Wind procs. So it's just so much more damage, and not having a point in drain equals not being able to control your Dark Wind. This is so terrible. But hey, back on topic. This dude manages to escape. Emdiel starts channeling back. Shaco reacts immediately, which is good. And they could disengage this. This is easy. They might try to collapse on the Fiddlesticks. All you really need to do, well, Rakan has his abilities on cooldown, but Shaco and Misfortune should be able to basically 2-shot him. Yeah, auto Q, and now you walk away. You walk away, but you don't walk away. You walk in and flash away, okay. And then you get mauled by the Aatrox, yeah. That happened. Pretty unclean, but hey. Happens to the best of us. Right, buying components. He does not have the gold, obviously, to finish his Duskblade, but longswords basically build into anything, so you can always buy longswords instead. It is very frustrating when you get forced back before you have 700 gold. I need to buy another longsword or something, because you could have bought your Duskblade had you not bought the longsword earlier. But generally speaking, this is the correct play, because gold in your pocket does not increase your stats in any way. You need to spend the gold, you need to buy items for it to actually matter. So I really like this. It sometimes backfires, but hey, that's life, I guess. Picking up some side lane farm. You cannot just let the wave crash on the turret, so it's definitely fine. Wow. So much damage, the jungle monsters don't even reach him. So it doesn't even matter that he has no lifesteal. Wow. Alright. I always am a little bit cautious with jungle monsters with a build like this. Yeah, because of this. See how much damage he takes. Well, Wraiths are a hard camp to take if you have no sustain. And all this farming is missing in the action. Come on. Reinforce your team, boy. Go split in. Dark Harvest and Q. There's another proc right there. Right. Right. He got him. The Aatrox though. Is this enough damage? It might be. Close. Yeah, chasing there is definitely not correct, so him walking away is good. Yeah, that was fine, actually. Emdiel, I have a question for you. The enemy team have an Aatrox who heals quite a bit, a Warwick who is notorious for healing, Fiddlesticks who doesn't put points in W, to be fair, but don't you think this is the game for a Mortal Reminder instead of a Lord Dominic's Regards? When do you buy Mortal Reminder? When do you buy Lord Doms? I'm curious, because as soon as I see a Warwick, I personally see a Warwick on the enemy team, I always buy Grievous Wounds. Do you think the extra 10% armor penetration Lord Doms give you is more valuable? Well, you do, because I saw in the post-game lobby that you bought Lord Dominic's Regards this game, but I wonder why, and I wonder where's the line where you tell yourself, okay, I do need Mortal Reminder over Lord Dominic's Regards. Yeah, that's something I need to know. Please answer. All right. I totally missed the action. I'm sorry. Fortune ready to die. Oh yeah, against the Warwick, yeah. Sure. Against the Warwick, yeah, unfortunate. Obviously, in melee range, you don't do too well against bruises or tanks even. Especially when you don't buy boots, because as soon as you've been hit once, you are not going anywhere. You lose all your movement speed from Ghostblade, you lose all your movement speed from Strut, and you are basically a sitting duck. So you need to be very, very careful when you go for no boots Misfortune, which is one of the reasons I don't really like no boots on Misfortune, because I tend to make positioning mistakes quite frequently, and they are very punishing. Yeah, this Aatrox just popping off. You see all this healing? Wouldn't this be a nice indication for you to buy an Executioner's Calling? Oh well, I'm very curious. The Aatrox going down. Nice kill steal, bro. Nice kill steal. Emdiel is starting to get fed though. And a fed Misfortune with Dark Harvest is definitely going to carry. That's also one of the problems I have with Dark Harvest Misfortune, or with Lethality Misfortune in general. I always have the feeling there are only two modes. Scenario 1, I completely crush the enemy and carry my team. Scenario 2, I'm utterly useless and don't do anything. Oh well, I need to get back into the build though. It's really fun when you make it work. And the more you play it, the more clearly you obviously know how to make it work in each and every situation. So yeah, as with everything in life, practice makes perfect. Misfortune bought Lord Doms, alright. Yeah, so this is his core. Emdiel also says that that you should buy Lord Dominic's Regards latest third item. So, well, he did the math, and basically what he's saying is, when you buy Lord Doms as third item, it's already crazy efficient and way more damage than another lethality item. since the enemy's level and base armor and stuff like that is already high enough to the point where the percentage armor penetration really matters. It's also one of the main things with Misfortune. You should be very trigger happy when it comes to your ultimate. As soon as you see some of the enemy team hard CC'd, you instantly drop your ult. Doesn't matter if it's only a slow, a slow duration hard CC, because even a few waves of bullet time completely destroy them. You don't need to hit the full duration ultimate. Half of it would already be enough to kill someone. Yeah, I see the tower damage. Those big orange chunks. That's the lethality, Misfortune. Emdiel now does not have his ulti and is dangerously close, yeah. Costs him his flash. Auto-attacking the turret there was a mistake. Alright, the Rakan peeling for him, which is good. Did you see that? That's crazy. But Emdiel now a little bit worried about his low HP total. Yes, sure. Dark Harvest Q into R instantly kills any squishy mid to late game. And this is not even late game, this is early mid game. 20-minute mark. Already one-shotting. To be fair, he's super fed. Don't forget that. Aatrox reviving. All for naught. Too bad Misfortune is dead. This would have been basically the perfect scenario. Some of the enemies are low, you can kill them, get more Dark Harvest procs off of them, and use them to kill their teammates. So perfect. Yeah, Kled goes down, but blue team is massively ahead. I mean, look at the towers, and red team cannot leave their base. Bot inhibitor is gone, which is the key component here. As soon as bot inhibitor falls, you will need to answer the super minions in this lane sooner or later, and the other team can use this window of opportunity to go to Baron, which is farthest away from bot lane, and just start it, and you have to make a choice. Either you go there, take Baron, or contest Baron rather, which is definitely a mistake, because then your base just gets crushed. Yeah, it's basically a checkmate situation for red team. The only way to get out of this is if blue team messes up, as in one of them gets caught unnecessarily or something, so it's no longer a 4v5, because at least one member has to defend bot lane, right? Yo, this is checkmate. And we look at this ward. I think it should be a little bit closer to the Baron, because right now I don't think it covers this area. I'm not sure, it might be. But I always put it as close to Baron as possible so it covers the entire pit. But as long as you have a control ward in there, you don't really need to be afraid of them stealing. It's no longer a 50-50 then. Right, Misfortune in assassination mode. Figuring her Edge of Night. Now sitting at full build. Well, not full, but 3 lethality items plus Lord Domes. Yeah, anybody who gets an auto range just drops dead. You saw the damage from bullet time. Yeah, look at this tower damage, it's ridiculous. That's one of the bigger perks of this build. Nice. Yeah, this Warwick is fairly tanky. Zeke's and Cinderhulk, yeah. And Ninja Tabby, and still he just dropped. Wow. I needed a game like this. I needed a nice little Misfortune stomp to get me pumped, you know. I want to feel the hype when I start playing this build again myself. Right, yeah, but this was high elo Misfortune. Technically not challenger in this game, but from a challenger level player. And well, lessons learned: itemize correctly, as in stack lethality, well, obviously there's not much to not much new to take away from this, because basically everything has been said already in Emdiel's guide. He has a Google document in which he explains his build in depth, so everything I tell you there is just basically parroting what he wrote. Yeah, but this build is super fun, and I hope to get back into it. I hope to get to feel it, you know? I think as a Misfortune player, you have to feel the build you're playing. Else you're always asking yourself, oh damn, is my build correct? Oh damn, am I playing the wrong one? Should I try something new? It's something I struggle with quite a lot. I always invent new builds and then think, oh damn, this is worse than the other build in this aspect, and then I play the other build and then I realize that's flawed too. But you cannot have everything, right? You need to make compromise, and I think the compromise for the near future is get the one-shots, but don't get the flexibility and the survivability. Alright, I hope you enjoyed and you liked this video. And yeah, let me know in the comments what you think, what builds you play currently, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!